What are some examples of software that we use kind of on a semi-regular basis for those of us who use technology and computers?
Microsoft Word.
Right, so that's one program.
Microsoft.
Okay, well, Microsoft Word is a program, yeah, and what does Word do? What is
Word
it?
processing.
It's a word processor, right? So it processes words. It tells your computer it tells the computer how to process text and characters. So what does the text look like? How is it formatted on a page? What style it should have, right? How does it look physically? What size is it? Things like that. What other type of software do you need even before you can access a program like Microsoft Word?
Oh my God.
Is that the one that, when they ask you what, office, professional office, something like that?
Office is a suite of programs that is
XP Office.
XP. What does XP stand for? What does XP refer to, rather?
I just know that it is.
Okay. Anybody else know?
No.
Okay.
I
Yes?
don't know, but I feel like I'm cheating because I know.
That's fine. You should, if you know, that's why. I mean, you're one of our audience members, so if you know.
The operating system.
Operating system, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have operating systems, and that is the foundational software that you have to have on your computer. Because if you don't have an operating system, your computer just basically is a very expensive dust collector. Yeah?
That's like your bicycle, stationary bicycle in the house.
There you
Place
go.
to hang up
So-
your clothes and collect dust.
So what choices are the operating system then? How many
You tell me,
choices?
what operating systems do we typically use
We
on
got one.
computers?
The
What,
XP, the
I have-
XP something, XP Office.
You mean, I have the ones from Apple, so I have Mountain Lion.
right, so Apple's operating system is called Mac OS, or Mac
Right.
operating
Right.
system.
Right.
And Mac, or Apple rather, has given their most current iterations of their operating system animal names. So they have, so there have been leopards and lions and cheetahs and tigers and bears on my, no, I'm kidding. And the most recent one is called, so there was leopard, and then there was snow leopard, and then there was lion, and then there was mountain lion, and now there's mavericks, whatever kind of animal that is, I don't know, but that's how Apple has chosen to refer to its software or to its operating system. What's the major what competitor to
Windows?
Apple? Thank you. It's Windows, right? Windows is one of the most widely used operating systems, and Windows is the operating system for most PC-based computers. And Windows has had an interesting history of naming their versions because, if I remember correctly, they started with like 3.1, and then they jumped to like 95, and then there was XP and Vista, and now it's 7 and 8. So I have no idea.
8.5 now.
Yeah. So if you don't know,
Stand 8.
so if you don't know where you're standing in terms of Windows, you could think XP might be the latest one, or things like that, because it's their naming of their product has been completely inconsistent, right? So, but then what other operating systems do we know about, if any?
Linux.
Linux is one, yes, and Linux is an operating system that's traditionally used by people who are in the programming field, or who are what I call techies, right? So people who are very tech conscious or very programming conscious.
What is it called again?
Linux, Linux.
L-I-N-U.
UX.
Yeah, that's.
And if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Karen, it's very DOS-like.
I think so, but
I
it's very
think-
open source, so that
Yeah.
different people work on different
Right,
programs
so
and
it's,
together.
yeah,
and
it's
that's
not as proprietary as
It's like
Apple
an
or Windows, right?
It's in the-
So it's not as proprietary as those programs, so a lot of people can change it and can alter it to their liking and use it the way that they like. So it's very programmer friendly and things like that. And then there's operating systems like Chrome OS. Has anybody heard of Chrome?
Chrome, that's a
That's
search
Google.
engine.
Isn't that a search
Chrome
engine?
is a search, it's actually a web browser, right? It's
Right.
called
Right.
Chrome, but Google, who makes Chrome, has also created a Chrome operating system, which is called Chrome OS. And it runs on on products called Chromebooks,
Okay.
right? And this is a completely internet-based operating system, so you kind of have to be connected to the internet to use this really well. And it has its own, uses, and it's very interesting. But there are options out there, and we have plenty of options. But obviously, the majority of the technology or the operating systems that are out now in the computing world are PC based, right, or Windows based.
Can I ask you